If you're going to accomplish goals, there's only one way you can do it. This is Brian Cain with the Mental Performance Daily Podcast, and on today's Monday Book Battalion, I'm breaking down the book Mind Gym by Gary Mack. Mind Gym is one of the foundational books that I think most people read when they're getting introduced into mental performance or sports psychology. And one of the main points in this book that Gary makes is that if you're going to set goals, you have to set your goals step by step. I call it reverse engineering. You could call it eating the elephant. Working backwards. You see, if you have an outcome goal, let's say you want to make the varsity, let's say you want to be a Major League Baseball all-star, let's say you want to write a book. What do? You set that goal, which I'd call a telescope goal, and then you reverse engineer. You work backwards steps that you have to take on a daily basis to give you the best chance to accomplish that goal. So any big goal is really just a lot of little small steps and small goals along the way. So whatever your goal is that you have, as we get ready to start quarter two, April, May, and June of 2023, what is the next best decision, that next small step that you can take to help you get one step closer towards your big goal? If you think about it, telescope and microscope goals. Telescope goals in the future, where do I want to go at the end of these 90 days in quarter two? Microscope goal, what can I do today? For example, one of my goals is at the end of quarter two, when I get on the scale, I'd like to be below 180 pounds. I'd like to be below 10% body fat. I've got a Garmin scale that I got on every morning that gives me a measurement of body fat and body weight. Well, what can I do today? I can make sure that I exercise and sweat before screens. I can make sure that I map out my calories and hit my macronutrition plan. I can make sure that I actually get in the weight room and work out and push some iron, lift some weights. So if I'm doing those little microscope goals, a lot over the course of the next 90 days, I will accomplish my bigger telescope goal. What is it for you? Maybe it's writing a book. I want to be an author by the end of quarter two. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to map out my story brand framework. I'm going to identify what the concepts are I want to share in the book. I want to identify who's going to read the book. What audience am I trying to serve? And then I'm going to craft a story with characters and what the challenges are that the characters have and who's the guide that comes in to solve those challenges and what are the strategies that they share with our hero that's going through these challenges so that they can avoid the pain and gain the pleasure that they're looking for through the story. And then you would start with just identifying what are the concepts, who are the characters, what's the framework and the story, and then you start moving forward. It's like building a house. If you're building a house, you don't just put a shovel in the ground. You first get the plans of what the house looks like, telescope goal, and then you get back into taking that next best decision on where you're at in your process. But you can't follow the process if you don't have one. So set that telescope goal for quarter two and reverse engineer it back to what you can do today to take one step to get there.
Thanks for checking out Mental Performance Daily with Brian Cain, an IRONCLAD original. If you like the show, be sure to leave us a rating, review, and comments. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, it's Brian, and I need your help. As a valued member of our Mental Performance Daily community, I'd love to receive some questions from you that I can use to help create new, upcoming Mental Performance Daily podcast episodes. So in the show notes below this episode, you're going to see a link where you can submit your questions, and I'll make sure I do my very best to answer those questions on an upcoming Mental Performance Daily podcast. Thanks a lot.